Hi there, beautiful people. Today, I'd like to talk about goals. You know, are you setting goals for yourself? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Have you really thought about them? Do you write them down? Do you make it something that's a priority? Do you set yourself mini little goals along the way? Like, what can you do in order to make that big main goal happen? I think a lot of people don't actually do this. They don't spend enough time on the things that actually will help them to move forward in life. They kind of stumble through life, you know, this happens and then that leads to the next thing and then that next leads to the next thing. I mean, I know that because I feel like I've experienced quite a few different ways of being in life, and I've done that before. And I think often it's when you don't really believe in yourself enough that you don't set proper goals. But you know, we can all transcend those limitations that we feel within ourselves and do something really exceptional, something exceptional for us. You know, have a dream that fulfills us. So, to share my goal, my main big goal is to swim the English Channel. Now, this is a really big goal. Not only is it a big goal because if I was a brilliant swimmer, this would be a huge, massive goal. But I have to still learn to swim. Now I swim, but swimming the English Channel is a very different case altogether. You have to swim in a very different way than you would swim in a swimming pool. So learning to swim for big waves, you know, getting through seaweed, strong currents, strong winds, of standing cold, it's a very, very different thing. I mean, I've started my training already in the sense that I've been swimming throughout winter in the UK in the English Channel. So in a way, I've kind of already begun my training, and there's no way I would be ready to swim it for, I don't know, a good few years, 3 years, 4 years. But it's a dream, and it's keeping me going right now. It's keeping me going because when I get in the water, I imagine that I'm actually coming into France. And despite what's going on in my life right now, I have this big dream. And this big dream is helping me to transcend the times when I have doubts and the times when I feel like I'm going to crack up. Because you know, it is difficult. It is difficult when you are feeling really fit and really healthy, and you're living your best life, and then somebody says to you, "Oh, by the way, did you know you have a lymph mass? And did you know you've got cancer also in some of your bones? And did you know that actually you've got lymphedema, and you've not only got it in your whole arm, but you've also got it in your chest and your back and your neck?" And so these little things, a lot of people would go down. In fact, I know a lot of people that would probably be needing to take antidepressants. They would probably be seeing a counsellor right now. I mean, when I first was diagnosed with cancer, I had to see a counsellor. It's very scary, very scary. And I transcended cancer in the past, and now I have to deal with it again. And I don't think it's really the cancer that you have to deal with. I think it's your thoughts, because I think more than anything, your thoughts have a huge part to play in how you live your life. And I think that when I decided to go down the more natural route before, although I did integrate my treatment in the end because I had radiotherapy, I think that having alignment with what you choose to do is one of the most important things, and that is something that nobody teaches you. I mean, sure, if you're a follower of something like Dr. Joe Dispenza or something, then you would understand that. But it still takes a little bit of time to integrate that into your lifestyle, because we're not conditioned that way. We're conditioned very differently when we're growing up, or at least most of us have been. We're conditioned with limitations and blocks and paranoias and all sorts of things. I mean, I know some people might disagree, but I don't think so. I think most people have got traumas. Traumas, I refer to wounds, things that have happened to them that they don't let heal, because they keep them open and they keep going on and on about them all the time, even though that it's quite apparent to other people that they're not helping themselves to move forward because they're stuck in the past. And I think that there must be some sort of element that the reason that I've got cancer again is something to do with that. There must be some sort of wound that I've kept open, or I'm allowing my environment to affect me in some way which hasn't been helpful. So I have this big dream. I have this dream that I want to swim the English Channel, and it's a very big dream. And I think this big dream is going to help me to transcend the challenges that I now face, because they are quite big challenges. But I don't think it doesn't matter really if they're big or small. You see, I think that it's all down to in here, how we cope with them in here. And you have to be very aware of self-love, giving to yourself, not feeling shame, not feeling bad about like, oh, somebody wants to do this and oh, I must go over there and I must see them, or I must do that and please them. Like, you don't have to please anybody. Sometimes you just have to nurture yourself. And I think sometimes people expect so much from someone else. They just want from them. And it's like, you can't always give. You can't. There are times when you just need to gather yourself and breathe and just have peace and relaxation, because some people are exhausting. And I think if that is in any way affecting your ability to focus, you need to move away from that so that you can refocus, because you don't want your environment, and it doesn't matter where you are in this world, you're always going to be in places that you're going to have triggers. So you have to transcend them. You have to be able to transcend your environment so that you can cope with anything. And I suppose in many ways coping with this is probably nothing in comparison to what I would have to cope with if I were swimming in the English Channel. And I think the English Channel really is all about the person. I think people that choose to do that, it's not about a competition against anybody else, but it's more to do with understanding themselves on a deeper level, seeing what you're capable of if you put your mind to it, and just pushing yourself beyond your comfort zones, and just to achieve something that will really make you feel very, very confident and joyful in the achieving of it, because it's not a great fun experience. I should imagine there's a lot of times it's quite frightening. It's the busiest shipping lane in the whole world, and some of those tankers are absolutely bloody enormous, and then they leave a great big wake. So you have extra waves from there, and of course out at sea the waves are much bigger than they are closer to land. So my big dream is to swim the English Channel, and I don't know if I'll do it or not. I believe I will. I feel that I have got the mental ability to do it, and everything else is just something that you have to train yourself for. So yeah, I believe I can do it, and I'm going to certainly give it a go. And meanwhile, I'm going to transcend anything that comes in my way, until I am in a position that I have no more obstacles or challenges, and that I just go forth and am able to meet my dream. Are you dreaming big? What are your dreams? Some people, they stop dreaming. I mean, I know some people that they don't have any dreams. They have no dreams, and they're boring because they have no dreams. They live through their children, they live through their grandchildren, they live through their animals, and that's not enough. There's got to be things that you do that are pleasing to you, that you feel like, yes. A lot of my old school friends, whenever I talk to them and say, how are you? They never tell me how they are. They tell me how the children are. And then when I say, what you doing? They tell me about what their children are doing. They don't have any dreams for themselves, Their dreams are where their children will go to university, where their children will, you know, what kind of profession their children will do. Those are their dreams. I mean, those are nice dreams, and those are very honourable dreams. And I'm sure most parents dream the best for their children. I know I dream the best for my dog. But they're not actual dreams for themselves. They're not nurturing and loving themselves. And that's the thing. People should be doing this, more of this, you know. Love yourself, nurture yourself. Self-love is an important thing. And, you know, don't feel embarrassed to be vulnerable, to express yourself and say what matters to you. It's all right. It's fine. And if people want to have a laugh about it, you know, that's their problem. It's nothing to do with you. It's just to do with them. But I do think that if everybody had bigger dreams, they'd be a lot happier, because when they were to achieve them, they would be like, oh, wow, that was so cool, that was so great. Or even not just necessarily achieving them, but if they have them, that they can have something to work towards. They'll be feeling good in the process of doing that, rather than just going through the days and just filling in time, because that's not how things work. It may work to a certain degree, but you'll never have the level of happiness that you would have if you have proper dreams. So dream big, dream bold, and be happy and live your life, because, you know, life is precious.